pleas from parents. The Louisville School Board voted to close all 5 schools, and those include Owen, Creekside, Garden Ridge, Highland Village, and Polster's STEM Academy. All the votes were unanimous except the closure of Highland Village Elementary, with 1 board member voting no. And the district also blamed state lawmakers, of course, increasing that funding, as I mentioned, for inflation reasons. And some parents expressed their disappointments after a decision was made.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a story that's hitting close to home for many families in Dallas, Texas. 5 elementary schools are set to close for 2025 school year. And let me tell you, this isn't just a local issue. It's a wake-up call for all. F around and find out season is officially in full swing. And if you ever wondered why you should care about politics, this is exactly why. Decisions like these directly impact your children, your communities, and your future. If you ever thought politics didn't matter to you, this is one of your reality check videos. Every clip and every episode that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of these videos that you'll be seeing their names on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracey D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's dive right ahead to today's video, and we'll come back with more commentary.
Pleas from parents. The Louisville School Board voted to close all 5 schools, and those include Owen, Creekside, Garden Ridge, Highland Village, and Polster's STEM Academy. All the votes were unanimous except the closure of Highland Village Elementary, with 1 board member voting no. And the district also blamed state lawmakers, of course, increasing that funding, as I mentioned, for inflation reasons. And some parents expressed their disappointments after a decision was made.
I know we're going to be okay. I know our kids are resilient, and honestly, the schools we're going to go to are great schools, but they're not the one we chose. We bought our house for that school, and it's just going to change all of our lives pretty drastically.
Well, the parents were visibly upset after the meeting, and there was another conversation about boundaries for enrollment for 7 districts as well. And the district is currently facing a $4.5 million deficit. And
damn, they closing 5 elementary schools in 1 county in Texas. See, this is when government treats the people like a business, meaning the whole system is capitalism. And you should never fall short on schools and veterans and highways and just certain things you should never fall short on, because it's tax dollars that pay for that. Those things should be taken care of. They're closing 5 elementary schools in 1 fucking county in Texas. That's crazy. But the flip side is it's been happening in poor and impoverished communities forever, except they just never open, or they're crumbling, and they don't have heat or AC, or they don't have proper books or proper instruction. All of that was already happening. Now it's trickling down to those that are doing a little bit better, and the government still don't give a fuck about you. Ain't that about a bitch? Y'all gonna be distraught. Elementary schools are supposed to be close to homes. Very close. Most kids can walk to elementary schools, right? Not too many kids take the bus to elementary schools unless they're in very rural areas, right? I bet that whole county voted red. Let's bet that shit. Something to think about, folks. The government is folding. It's going to be on a local level, a state level, and a federal level, all at the same damn time. And this is a prime example of running out of money because they're allowing big business to control tax dollars and how much they pay. So they take from the little man, and they're going to keep taking until the little man get mad. Till the little man get mad.
And
this is what happens when Republicans vote against education. Okay? Y'all effed around and found out. Now you got Trump sitting there saying, hey, remember guys when I said that I am going to promise you guys to lower the gas and lower groceries? Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm going to try, but I can't. You know, it's going to be hard. What? You guys got bamboozled. You got bamboozled. And now y'all want to cry. And I know probably some of the moms voted for Kamala, cool, whatever. But the ones who didn't, good for you. I hope it stings like when your ex bamboozled your ass or your husband. Because what else did y'all expect? He made it clear. He wants to make the rich richer. This is far more than just illegal immigrants. Like, he just put that out there to get y'all riled up, but he really is not for the middle class. He's not for the poor, and he's really not even for the middle class. He is for the rich. And we had a chance with Kamala. And I'm going to say this again. I didn't completely agree with all her views. Okay? I did not. But I felt like with her, we can get far. There is no president that you're going to completely 100% agree with. Because I would hope that y'all don't agree with a pedophile and a womanizer and a person who makes fun of disabled people. I hope y'all was like, well, you know, yeah, I don't agree with that part, but, you know, the rest of it, you know, I agree with, and that's why I voted for him. I'm going to just assume that. But the fact that y'all, we had a chance with Kamala. We had a chance for everybody to be treated equally. The rich was going to get taxed, so we don't have to be taxed. Gas prices were going to get lowered. Groceries were going to be affordable. Housing was going to be affordable. Our children's education was going to be protected. All of this stuff. And y'all threw it out the window. Yeah, so, I mean, this is crazy. And y'all effed around and found out. So, there's more to come, people. Stay tuned. Goodbye, nerds.
Academy. All the votes were unanimous except the closure of Highland Village Elementary.
Who they vote for? I just want to know who they vote for. All of those parents, teachers, faculty, board members that are up in there crying, who do they vote for? Because if they voted for conservative leadership down ballot or they split their ticket, guess what? They get exactly what they wanted. They helped facilitate screwing over their children's young future. Now their children are probably going to be stuck in classrooms in neighboring schools that are left 30 and 35 deep, or those children are probably going to have to be bused miles away from their home. Well, if those parents don't want neither situation to happen, I hope they're ready to homeschool their children, or they can afford private school.
Why are you people crying? And why are you blaming Abbott and fucking Cruz? That was a school board within the city of Dallas. We tell you people, stop embracing this Republican, ultra-conservative ideology. What did y'all do? Did you not have a chance to vote in school board members that will be more favorable? 5 elementary schools? Wow. And y'all up there crying. And if you look around at the crowd, look at the video. What skin tone do you mostly see?
That is tough, because like she said, they chose their house because of that school, and that's going to be closing. This is why it's important to understand that. That's what I always tell people, real estate does not stop, because now what you're seeing with schools closing in areas in Texas, you're going to probably see sellers who are going to try to sell their homes or go buy somewhere else. So you may see demand go up in other areas where they're moving to, and then also, of course, it's going to affect them though where they're selling and moving from, because you have a school closing. So if people have children looking for that school, now they probably won't buy in the neighborhood, right? So now you just shrunk down your buyer pool if you're going to sell. But you understand, that's what I tell buyers. There's a lot more to owning a home than the pictures on Zillow, find your house online, right? You really need to, as much as you can, see what's going on in local politics, because that's going to affect you as a homeowner. Everything from rezoning to, they're building this here, they're building that there, property tax increases. There's a lot of things that go into owning a home.
Pleas from parents, the Louisville School Board voted to close all 5 schools, and
when we told y'all this is what the Republican Party was going to do, they're going to take the voucher scam, remove public funds from the federal government, the money the federal government sends for public schools, for public education, these Republican state houses that tricked y'all into passing that voucher program, all they're going to do is take the money and give it to the private schools. Missouri cut $100 million out of public education, the free schooling. That means that money is now gone to the private schools, and the schools that they choose, their rich donors and their friends, and how all these popping up new private schools are because they're being funded by the state with federal money, and y'all let that shit happen. Just wait till Trump get y'all ass. This just the beginning. You did it to.
So guys, when I saw these like on TikTok, I was doing my research and on all these and how these came to happen. And on an episode, I talked about Project 2025 and how it's gonna impact so many Americans. And I came across this article that I wanna read for you guys on what these people had said before the elections. So Project 2025, the policy agenda for former President Trump's potential first year back in the White House, published by the far-right conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, has been making waves recently. Some of the many destructive proposals within the agenda include the elimination of the U.S. Department of Education, along with federal education funding and any civil rights protections, and the divisions of public money to private schools voucher programs instead. Make no mistake, the goal is to end public education, but dismantling our public schools isn't just the plan if Trump is re-elected. It's already happening. So yeah, now 5 schools in Dallas, Texas will not be returning back for their school year come 2025. And have you seen on these clips that you've seen today, you've seen this parent that actually went on ahead and said the reason as to why they bought a house in that specific neighborhood is because they had taken their child to that school, and that's what actually motivated them to buying a house there. Maybe it was a nice school, the neighborhood maybe was probably nice, or the school wasn't that expensive for them, and that's why they decided to settle there and buy a house. Now I'm imagining if they have to move with how it is in the States, they'll have to sell their house and they'll have to go and try buy another house where they'll be moving, which is so much of a hassle. Imagine if that parent is not working from home, or they are working very far from where they'll have to buy another house. Maybe this is gonna be separation between families, because at the end of the day, the parents have to work, and then at the end of the day, the kids have to go to school, and they have to look for a better school for their kids. So it depends on what area that they will find this school that will be convenient for both the child and the parent. That is when it comes to work and when it comes to the kids going to school. So when I started this, I said, if you think that politics does not affect you, this is one of your reality check. Maybe there are probably teachers who are teaching in these schools and they were like, no, I don't care much about politics, and I mean, it doesn't hurt me in any way. And now they are in the verge of being unemployed, because if these schools close come 2025, the whole of 2025 school year, they probably will not have anywhere to go and work. They'll probably not find any schools to go and teach, because if all these 5 schools are being closed, that means the other schools that these kids will be taken to, they already have teachers. Although I don't know how the system works when it comes to education and when it comes to teaching in the United States of America, but you know, they are getting affected by this. It may seem indirectly, but they are getting affected by this, and it's a decision that you all make when it comes to politics, you know. Another thing, if these families, let's say these 5 schools that have been closed, if they have to move to a different neighborhood, or they have to buy houses somewhere else or in a different states, and they decide, let's just, you know, move to this state, that means the demand of houses is going to be higher, so the price is going to be high, of course. So yeah, imagine if you're planning to buy a house, let's say in a state like, okay, in one of areas in Texas, and you find like so many people are moving there, and you had like saved because you thought this was gonna be the market price come 2025, and then you find out all of a sudden, because people are moving to this certain neighborhood that you really wanted to buy, and if you've really been saving for it, now the price will not what you've been saving for or what you expected. So yeah, definitely that's how you also going to get affected by these, I mean politics. That's why everyone should be so invested in what's happening in politics. As long as you're a citizen of that country, as long as you're living in that specific country, anytime, any day, any moment, politics always affects and has a lot on how you're living your life, how you're managing to buy food, how you're managing to pay for your bills, how you're managing to get affordable housing, how you're managing to get affordable groceries that are healthy for you, and also food. I also did a little bit of research on how this will affect people. Closure of school real life impact. Research on the mass urban schools closure from 2012 to 2014 overwhelmingly found that academic outcomes suffered, particularly for low-performing students. A May 24 study from Brown University linked the experience of school closure to decrease in post-secondary education, attainment, employment, and earnings at the ages of 25 to 27. Additionally, closure forced families to travel further to get schools that are not in their communities, making it harder to form relationships with staffs, join extracurriculars, or get involved in parental organizations. These communities are often the first one to lose access to the benefits of neighborhood public schools, which act as essential gathering places for social services and community resources like adult education, polling locations, a place to hold community meetings, and access to democratic community control through school board. So you see, there's so many ways that people are also getting directly impacted, negatively impacted by all these. Not only the students or not only the kids that were going to that school, but also the community, you know, how your community is going to be affected and how your relationship is going to be affected when it comes to building relationship with your neighbors, most probably because you always be busy working and not also getting to know the neighborhood that you're living in. Because if you're working, I mean, like 2 hours away from where you live, then it's gonna be so much of a hassle even to want to have anything to do with anyone when you get back home, because you'll be very tired and all that. And also sometimes it might be hard for you to be able even to attend to your child, you know, parental meetings and all that, because you'll not be having time for that. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Let me know, do you think this has a negative impact on the whole community, on the whole country, or just for the few people, or for the few schools that are affected and the children that were studying in that school? I really love to know what your thoughts are on these. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, kindly consider subscribing. Also give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.